for Heroes of the Flow. So since we spoke last week, we obviously launched the game in beta version on iPhone. So we have more people joining in. That's cool. So yeah, so today's session, I have prepared some designs, but also if you guys want to start with some feedback that you have, we can do that as well. And I've even prepared this, or we can just discuss the future designs. And actually, I've got really cool ideas for game design as well that I want to discuss with you as well. But yeah, first, before we start, do you guys have any feedback that you want to discuss for the iOS version since you've tried it? Or yeah, should we begin? Should we dive into the design elements straight away?
Well, I couldn't play on my iPad, so I don't have any feedback for that.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. We've got Cam Crypto as well. Spurs, I know you just joined as well last week, right? I think Cam Crypto, you were there before, right, with the Android version. I'm not really sure, but yes, I'll just ask if anyone has feedback to share about the game since last time. But no worries if not. That's cool. You can always provide the feedback in a written form. But yes, okay. So then let's dive in into what I have here, which is super exciting. So yes, first quickly let's discuss what we did last time and what we discussed last time, right? And I'll start in an opposite order, right? We talked about the codex. We talked about some improvements. What Alit and perhaps really loved is the ability to see the cards. So if you go into your codex, right, this is just obviously a mock-up of future designs that we're going to have. In the codex, we can sort out the minions per tier, as well as actually sorted also per rarities of your cards that you have, like common, rare, epic, and legendary. And of course, everyone that plays the game, whether they're NFT holder or not, they have the common cards. Now, one thing that you guys brought up is that you love to see the card a bit bigger. And I talked to the team, and I think we can really combine those two designs because in the past last time I had this page as one design and this one second. But I think the first leads naturally to the second, meaning that we can have some sort of an icon there, and I've put a placeholder icon so that you press it, and then this opens the card full screens like this. So yes, I think still maybe this we need to work on this. But yes, I think the team is happy with us doing this way. Now a point for, I think perhaps you said, let's just show all the cards, even if the player doesn't have them. I realized some point in the week, just out of nowhere, I realized that maybe we should really think about harder about this idea, just because there will be a lot of people that are actually players that do not know what flow is, right? So I just worry that if they look at this and kind of get get those cards, the cards that they're missing, and really if we make a big deal about it to start, this may put off people initially. So I think, yes, we should market and advertise those cards, the special ones, but I'm just not sure that it should be like full of empty blank spots, like throughout their codex, because I'm just not sure. That might be a bit risky, and they may think something like, okay, well, why do I need to pay that much flow? And I get it, right? But it's nice to upsell it, but I just think maybe there is a better way to do this. So question here we've got, when you click on the zoom card, could it show your highest legendary first, and then note on the left the other you have and how many of each? That's not a bad idea, right? So we mean in this screen, yes, I think you're right that say you have dotbugs in 3 variants, it makes sense to show it, to show it quite big. Sorry, quite one first. Yeah, so I think this could work. Although the whole idea is that you've already selected it from the screen, right? So you've selected legendary, but it does make sense, I think, to if you, instead of going back, you can just press left and right or something like that, and then you can be like, you can really browse cards that you have. And like discussed last time, really some of them would have animation and others may not, right? They'll have special effects like the legendary. I'm super excited that they have like some special effects. So I'm just trying to write it here.
That sounds awesome.
So it's like a collection, you mean? Yeah, like browsing.
Yeah, so just like this, like that screen you're showing, the big one when it pops up zoomed in, just the border would be, if you had a legendary, you could show the legendary border, and then on the left where it says you also have, it'd say like you also have, 5 epics and 10 rares of this. On the left. Like I don't know if it already knows how many you have. That's all I was thinking. I mean, I don't know if it's a lot to code.
No.
Because that information is on the previous screen there on the left. It's looking awesome. If you do the page that shows all of the minions, so like, let's say you own half, but you don't own all of them, would the page that shows all the minions show like some sort of highlighted or grayed out or something that would instantly show you which ones you're still missing?
Yes, I think this is what perhaps asked last time, but the truth is, for a player that is does not have a Web3 wallet, they would not be missing any, right? Because they should be able to play. So they will have a common version of all the minions. So they'll have this gray version, which is the common version, right? The basic version. So, but what perhaps asked is maybe that we should show the others, like the rare, the epic, and legendary, those that they don't have. So I think we got to think a bit harder about this because, like I said, I just don't want them to get in the game, start playing, and immediately think, "Oh my God, this game makes me, really pushes me to buy NFTs." Because of the right now, right? That's the state of the game, right? I know that eventually that's fine, but depends how the market moves, right? Still, some Web2 players may think, "Oh, it's a crypto game. I don't want to take part in this, etc." There is still that sort of sentiment. So, and also like we don't want them to be thinking this is pay to win or something, right? So I think let's think about that. But the point is, yes, they'll be seeing all the common cards, all the common minions, and then if they own the rare, legendary, and epic, they'll see those as well.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
But yes, I think this is just a mock-up, and it does need more work. But yeah, we're probably on the on the right track, and we'll be sharing some designs when they get built as well. So a lot of things we discussed last time. So on this main screen, we discussed the removal of the stats. Instead of stats, we'll have a map, right? This was the big one. That this is just a wireframe. So we haven't really changed the design since last time, but there were some really good ideas, and I've written them to the right there. But basically, people love the idea of different paths, a lot more like a storytelling approach. I've written here from some paths may include a bonus level or mini boss fight. That was really liked. They can branch out and merge back at random points. I personally really like that, right? That I like the idea of like having these dungeons or rooms with some surprises. So, but that will probably be the next release, right? Let's first release a map that is more linear one, and then we'll be thinking about how we can do it more interesting and more branching like this. Yeah. But yes, but on this screen, this is linked with this screen, which is something that perhaps said, right? Perhaps said, what about? I said, let's move the mana points to the left, bottom corner, bottom left, and he said something like, well, then my left thumb would be covering this area, right? And I said, so fair point. So we discussed internally and we were thinking maybe we can try a version like this, because actually Morgan is also quite keen on having the mana on the left, down bottom, because it's like it's all linked together then, right? So it's just something we need to probably play test a bit. But yes, I was explaining last time that, say, yes, if we move it there, for example, right, just from design perspective, that's not as good, because then you have so many things, so many different areas to look at, and it's just from design perspective, it's not very tidy, it's not very user friendly. But if the buttons are more clustered together based on logic, then that can work better. So like the mana is next to the button where it actually draws -1, right? Because that's really linked to that. Then it makes sense as you see it moving and changing. So yeah, I don't know, perhaps if you have any like comments on this, because you were there last time.
Yeah, I mean, I like both, right? The mana being on the bottom left or up in the middle, but yeah, it makes sense that, everything related to mana should be together. So I'm looking at the screen right now, and set, free, and draw is there, right? And that's what affects your mana. So I agree now that, yeah, it makes sense to have it there. But the map, since that is a button that you will be able to click, I think that should go bottom right, like above battle. So it's easier to reach as well. So like your left thumb should be for like building your team and all of that, and your right thumb should be for like selecting where to go and to start the battle. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but it kind of depends how much this screen is used, because also, like, if there is a lot of selections to make, fair enough. But if it's just straightforward, that probably won't be used very much.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So I think maybe we can play with it, and just depending on how players use it, there's probably some analytical way that we can test. Is it being used a lot? Do people like to see the map? Depends if we have a lot of story and lore in the map itself. But yeah, it's a good point, and I thought about it there as well. So it's something to keep in mind for sure. Cool. So the next one is the home screen, which was just like a very small change from last time. Just changed the logo, made it a bit brighter, so you can see down below. Yeah, and that's something like the home screen, something that will just keep changing. So I'm not very precious, because we'll be including different modes eventually. Settings, good points. I think Alet, you said that's essentially log out and things like that are located in settings. Sound settings will be there as well. Another screen that we need to design probably. So yeah, but basically I've Simone brightened the logo a little bit, so that's, I think the right version is obviously better. Right, yes. So the icon, I know that last time we did come up with this awesome icon with Snarlack. But then I spoke to Simone and she was like, oh, can we try the hero? And she says, well, I actually designed the hero icon with it being an icon in mind. So I know that we discussed the Snarlack, but I think the right version, the hero, is just popping out way more as a game, you know? It just pops out of the screen really well. It has a lot of 3D into it. So I think that's my vote. I know that we discussed something else, but I wanted to show you just so you don't think that, you know, I've overridden the community vote. I think when I posted in Discord, a lot of people liked the right version, right? So yeah. Speak now or be silent forever if you don't like it. Just kidding.
No, I like it, and it makes sense to have the hero instead of Snarlack because, like, you'll be seeing that hero a lot more than you will be seeing Snarlack because Snarlack is like a tier 3 minion, so you will need to play like 3 matches to see it. And the hero, well, it's always going to be there. Now, of course, like I suppose that there will be more heroes, right? But like that's gonna be the default one, the one that everyone will see at one point of their game.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the hero.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we thought about this earlier in the previous session? Hero is more logical to have hero there. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I just didn't think about it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, Simone should have been on that call because yes, basically she said after the call, I was like, we explored some ideas. She was like, oh, I actually designed the heroes with this outline just with the view that this will be an icon for the app. I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah.
Just to Simone, yeah, easy, really good one.
Yeah, Simone is a superstar. She's very thoughtful. But yes, so she's really done really well. Okay, so now some cool stuff, right? You're gonna like this, I think. So I've tried to visualize our next game design ideas that are really, I think that they're really fundamental to the main gameplay, right? This is huge alpha. So the first being the ability to merge minions. Can anyone guess how that works?
I think I do. I've played Super Pets on Steam, so I don't know if it's similar to that.
Yes, it's fairly similar. I mean, we're still fleshing it out, but I think this works well there. So yeah, I think the whole idea is right. And I love how people sharing their screens and they're showing that they have the same minions on the screen, right? Well, that's not that interesting, I think. I'm surprised that people didn't complain, right? That it's the same minions. Instead of doing that, then you can still do that, or you can choose to have the same type of minion, but more powerful. So how you do that? So 2 of the same, oh, sorry, this is not level 2. 2 of the same equal, say, this is just example, but they have 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 2. Should be like something like 3, 3 stats. So it's already more powerful, right? So instead of selling it, you merge it with the idea that if you then add a third one, then it becomes a level 2. So that's, say, 4, 4, right? In terms of stats. And then the ability that the minion has becomes more stronger. So that's how we've seen it done. And I really like that personally, because this way, that's your incentive to merge them instead of selling them.
So Selling, and you mean set it free, or if you own multiple minions, you merge them before selling them in the market?
Yes. So by selling, I mean like obviously like selling free, whatever with yet to call. I think it's still called sacrifice, isn't it? By selling, I mean when you get 1 point, one mana point from it. So
Okay.
So like here you have 3 Boris, right? You can have them like that, or you can merge them into one. And in that case, it becomes level 2. And then you can sell this for 2 points mana, not 1. But also then you use this minion for as being more powerful. And this is only really used and useful in the game. And also in Hearthstone, we've seen this mechanic as well. So they do that, and then they have like a golden card, a golden minion that is more powerful, and you can choose to use that or sell it, or but it's more powerful. And I think that's gonna be a game changer for the game design. That's our plan anyway.
Nah, it looks. I like it. I like it. It sounds cool. Sounds cool. I mean,
You gotta play test it, but I'm surprised that no one has brought it up, because like it's never been our intention to have many of the same, because it's very repetitive. And then what is the choices that you have are less, right? The choices are like, oh, do I sell it? You can't merge it. Whereas if you have the merging, you can choose to sell it, sell those minions, or merge them, or have them as they are, right? You have one additional choice, which makes for more exciting gameplay.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's cool because, like, when it comes to gameplay, it means that, for example, I like Spiker a lot, right? Like, he's always in my team because I like his ability, but after a couple rounds, like, he isn't as reliable as before, so I need to change minions. So I think it's cool that I can keep Spiker in my team if I just level him up. And it also means that there can be more combinations now for your team, right? Because you will have like one special minion that it's gonna like be the most powerful in your team. So if you like a minion that heals, you can take the what was it called? The healing fish, Goofish. Like you can level up Goofish, or if you want more attack, you can level up, I don't know, Grungus. So I think it's an awesome mechanic because it gives you many choices.
Nice. Yes. And do you like Spiker just because of how he looks?
No, like I find it scary, but I like it to have it on my team because of the poison attack. So that's always useful. I mean, I like how it looks, right? But like it's kind of scary. Like I wouldn't want that thing in my room, right? Like I'd prefer have Boris in my room or something like that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's cool. Spiker. Oh. Yeah, that's good to know. Like, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm also excited to bring the new minions as well, right? We have 18 more that we haven't brought.
Nice.
Or how many? I think actually, yeah, maybe less than that. Have we done up to tier 4?
Well, there are some minions like 8, I believe. That I don't know if they're in the game, right? I have yet to see them, but they don't have abilities yet. And then other minions like are not even in the codex.
Yes. Let me see the context here. Yes, actually, you're right. Yeah, I don't think that Toxipede onwards. Yeah, I don't think that they're in the game.
Yeah, for example, Snarlack. I think Snarlack is not in the game.
Yeah, well, Snarlack is tier 5, I can tell you. because I was
Okay,
like,
okay.
basically, yeah, that's why. So we've reached up to tier 4. And yeah, I'm looking at the codex, and yes, Morgan has put not yet implemented. But we can put them in the codex. It's just, yes, we're working on adding abilities. So the abilities of the minions, as you've pointed out, I know perhaps you know, but maybe others don't know, but the abilities can change, and we'll be doing a lot of game design thinking on the abilities as well. Like, they're not set in stone. So yeah, but we welcome ideas as usual. But
Well, I have a question
yeah.
about that, because you know that legendary minions, you will have them as pets in World of Rogues, right? So my question is, like, would the abilities that they have in Heroes of the Flow also be on World of Rogues?
I don't know. You put
Yeah,
me
I know
on the
it's too early, but like, if you have an answer, then I'll probably have some ideas for abilities that can be useful in both games.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alan?
I was thinking, what kind of ability would that be? I mean,
Yeah, like imagine like I don't know, Goofish, right? And in World of Rogues, your role is to be a healer, so it makes sense to get Goofish in your team, like a legendary Goofish that helps not only you but your team heal. Or if you're more of a DPS player, then it makes sense to have, I don't know, Spiker, for example, right, in your team in World of Rogues that throws poison to your enemies and keeps doing damage like every second, something like that, right? That's my question.
yeah. And those with shield ability could shield your foxes. That would be, could work actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds cool.
Like,
Yeah.
now, obviously, I'm glad that Morgan isn't here, because he would probably start getting mad at me just by telling all these ideas. But yeah, just the question I had.
Yeah, cool.
I'd say without divulging too much information, right? Go ahead and throw the ideas out there. Like in our in the feedback, the games feedback. Like if you made a table or something and threw out ideas of, hey, here's some cool ideas on how these minions' abilities try and help. I guess I was thinking I need to do too. Add some of these that don't have abilities yet. But if we throw more ideas out there, whether they use them or not, at least it'll give. I think it'll give some momentum, give some stuff for Morgan and Anna to think about, and then they can go which direction they want to. Without them having to say, yeah, this is what we're thinking. We can still go ahead and make suggestions and give them ideas, and then they can implement what they feel is best for their platform.
Yeah, totally. So I've been thinking of some, but you need to make it balanced, and so that all minions are on like the same level. Like maybe some minions could have a counter to other minions, but like a triangle, right? Let's say Spiker is a counter to Rockfang, but Rockfang is a counter to Goofish, and then it goes again to Spiker. Goofish is a counter to Spiker, something like that, right? To make it balanced. So all minions are like an equal plane of like fighting skills and all of that.
Yeah. I like that, actually. Yes. I brought Rockfang because I was thinking, yes, poor Rockfang can make a very good shield. You just we just pick him up and put it, in front of your body. There you go. It's a good shield.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite minions as well.
Do you know of a fun fact? And I can show you here. The fun fact being that there are two art versions of those minions, and I don't know if anyone has noticed, because actually we haven't used the second version, but can you guess which version has been used for the collection itself? You can see the difference, huh?
I'm gonna say the right one is for the NFT collection because it's brighter.
Yes, correct. It's more
Nice.
painterly. Yes, well done.
Yeah.
You receive a legendary minion as a prize.
Hey, let's go.
No. That's a joke.
It's recorded, so now you have to do it now.
That's why I had to clarify fast that it's a joke, because people would be like, "Oh no, it's nepotism." we're not giving legendary so easy, so I can't.
I've heard that too as well. So send it.
Okay.
I can guys give you 20% discount on all of our merch items. Just use code ROGUES20.
Nice.
And yeah, no, so I think this is alpha really, that maybe Simone will be using these versions for World of Rogues because they suit a bit better. And I think then she went into more painterly style for Heroes of the Flow. But you can look at the line versions. They're more like closer to World of Rogues.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cool. So thank you for these inputs. I think let us know, right, what abilities and what ideas you have. I think I'll definitely pass it to Morgan. I think, yeah, would be great to merge and have even more common things between the two games. Yeah, so some really good ideas there. And finally, yeah, so we have trinkets, which is so in the Flow hackathon that we did, and that's how the game started, right, in February. I remember this was a stock art that I used, but I was trying to mock up and just kind of get some cool trinkets that would be boosting the minions' powers, right, in some way, so health and attack, etc. So we definitely are looking into how we can bring this to the game. This is obviously the stock art, but I put it here just so it can give us some ideas if you guys want. Like, I think it would be nice if they're very quirky as well. I'm sure Simone has some ideas, right, as well. But if you guys want to help and come up with trinkets and how they can help the minions. For example, in this example, I put Lavender. Minion cannot lose health for one battle. And by that, I mean health from abilities, right? So, for example, those that kind of just shoot at you before you even start. Of course, the minion can still die, but they can't be targeted before it's their turn, right? Or maybe some trinkets that give health, attack. Maybe some that kind of increase their healing effects. Yeah, things like that. Maybe some trinkets that summon more. Let's say Boris normally summons her owner, but maybe we summon, I don't know, then you can give it to any minion and then they summon something else. So ideas like that. And also just, I think that the trinket should be like pretty cool, and quirky, and not just be like, something
I just
boring.
came up with one.
Yeah?
We could use Sky Viper's wing or Shadow Wing to have abilities like, I don't know, you just take the wing, remove it from the Sky Viper, and have ability like, if you have these, or it can boost you or make that your enemies is one attack or something.
So it will be misses one attack.
Yeah, or dodge.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Use the wing of Shadow Wing and or Sky Viper. But Sky Viper's wing look cooler, I think. That would work much better.
Oh, poor creature.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, damn.
But
What about like some berries or something like that? And that also, like, it can be obviously designed by Simon, right?
Gotta run,
And then in
y'all.
the
Have a good one.
future, and in the future, like, those berries can appear in water procs as well. So you can save some sort of work for Simon. And I don't know, there could be like the fire berry that, you know, it gives you resistance to fire damage. Maybe poison berry that if you give it to the right minion, like, it will boost its poison effects. Or even like outcome stats, like, for example, that give you cons and pros. For example, like one berry that gives you like resistance to poison, but like it makes you like take double the melee damage, something like that. So like it's very useful for one side, but it can be very like damaging for your minion for other stats, something like that.
I got another one. What if you could the thing that Goofish throws with his mouth, that could be a slimy thing that if you use it or you use on your enemy, it's make the ground slippery and fall down or something.
Say that again, Alex. Sorry, I didn't write it down. Say that again.
I said that thing that Goofish throws, that thing, that if you could use that, it could make the ground slippery so that the enemy could fall down or some kind. Yeah.
Yes, I think so the Goofish is throwing goo, right? And the joke that internally we did is that goo is actually a good thing, right? Meaning that it's the healing potion, right? So that's why, right? I'm right, right? Goo is actually healing, and it's counterintuitive, but it's on purpose, like a little joke that actually, yes. Goofish at the start of a battle throw healing goo on a random friend. So the goo is actually healing. It's like, could be a healing potion then. But
yes, yeah.
Or healing potion. Because, you know, I think I had this, but yours is more fun, that's for sure. So I'll definitely, because, you know, for enemy falling down, this is like knocking them out, and they miss a turn, right? So you guys think that they should be linked with the minions, like very, like from them? I mean, that's a good idea, because it at least is a logical sense, and you can justify it, right? That, you know, these are coming from somewhere.
Yeah, I like that. It's I like that, because but like if you have Boris's horn or something, it gives another ability to someone else or some kind. If Boris is dead, you take the horn and do with it, or gives you an ability or something.
You're
cool.
You're very dark, Khaled. Very dark.
That's very dark.
I like to recycle everything. So.
Oh God. Yeah, because once I was in the forest, and I did find, you know, here in Europe, in Bulgaria actually, and it was fairly remote, and I found it found like a horn type of thing, right? And I was like, well, this is either a huge tooth, imagine the tooth of an animal, right? But it was something like, I don't know, 10 centimeters, right? And I was like, it's either a horn or it looks like a tooth, but if it's a tooth, God help me, right? It must be really big.
Yeah.
Dinosaur or something. But I thought it's a horn, but then I never found out what sort of animals could have been.
Do you still have it, or you throw it away?
I might have it somewhere, a trinket in my possession somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, use that.
So it's like this. It's exactly this is like this shape for Boris, right? Like this
Yeah.
horn that is got exactly like that, actually. And I found it in a forest, like that. Yeah. Without the runes.
But you dot bug. You can use the speed of dot bug and do some cool stuff with it.
Yeah, just don't say the shell, please.
No, the speed is
The spear is fine.
much more useful, I think.
And do you guys think that the trinkets should be NFTs?
Well, like, what would be the difference if they're NFTs or just in-game items?
Well, that's probably it's probably a bigger question here, because for the additional packs, right? We thought that those whole themed packs are the ones that are either NFTs or they're in-game purchases, but we haven't really thought about individual trinkets. So yes, probably there won't be any difference. But yes, you're right that if you can only buy them, then that would probably make it a little more or less like a pay-to-win game. So we've got to be a bit careful. So you're right that
Yeah, because what if like there's one overpowered trinket and then I decide to sweep them all, and only I have that trinket, right? Like it wouldn't be really fair. I think it's best if like some hats like are NFTs or other accessories for the minions, and the rest are just in-game purchases for that you can get for free by watching X amount of ads, something like that. Only a small amount of like cosmetics should be NFTs, and those ones should look like really cool. But yeah, for the trinkets, no, I think they should just be like in-game items that anyone can get.
As long as it don't make the game a pay-to-win game or have fun with any of them.
Yes, good point. So the hats, we've obviously the sky's the limit with hats, right? And we've got some on rogues. But do you guys have any like top, say everyone tells me top 3 hats that you'd love to have? Let me write it down. What are your top 3 hat choices that you want your minions to have?
Damn. Well, I used to play a lot of Team Fortress, and that gave me a lot of hats. So I can give you like a list of 50 hats probably. But I think one of the most iconic ones is like 3 hats, one stuck like one above each other, and there's 3 hats.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
Oh, there is a hat that 10 hats stuck above each other. It's making a very huge tall hat.
Okay, I'm gonna send it here in the Hangout chat.
But also, look, the challenge that we have is, right, that we will have all these minions and they all have different heads. And like, so like Sky Viper's head, right? If you put it there, look in the direction, then look at Goldfish. So that's, but yes, no, that's a good point. What? That's just crazy. The person is quite strange, so I'm not gonna copy that, but yes. Okay. Yeah, so that's a hat on top of hat. Yes, I do like the steampunk. What if only certain minions could have hats and others get something else? Yes, for example, they get spear or coat, a little jacket. Perhaps you just want 3 in 1, 5 in 1.
Yeah, if you want inspiration for hats, look at that game. Like that game, it's all about hats. That's what the community loves.
I like the fish one.
Yeah.
Oh, make Goofish in a hat. Then another Foxy could wear it, or
And then, so on Goldfish, you have the Goldfish. There you go.
that would be fun.
Okay, nice. Some crazy ideas. I'm looking forward to talking to the team about them. And they'll be like, oh my God. Perfect. I can just put that. So it's like a Goofish on a Sky Viper. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this could be an interesting one. The more rare minions, the rare or the legendary, can have animated hats, or like Cam Crypto says, only certain minions, maybe only those can have something. Nice. Well, perhaps very fruitful ideas. I'll definitely do my research. I can't promise we can do 10 hats above one another, but definitely we can do something crazy like that for sure. So yes, I think that's really a good point to say thank you guys. This was another productive session. So yeah, I've made some notes. I've recorded everything here, and yeah, the plan is essentially we keep building. next week we're having season 2 World of Rogues. Yeah. So probably we won't be having this alpha session. And I think most likely the next one would be after the holidays. But it's, yeah, I'm starting to really like these sessions. Let us know any feedback in the game feedback channel, as usual. And yeah, we'll keep testing. We'll keep sharing our progress. Right now, the focus is a bit more on World of Rogues, at least until the next release, until the launch of Season 2 on the 18th of December. But we'll definitely keep you posted on our progress. Lots to do, and yeah, lots of exciting things coming up for Heroes of the Flow. You know, it's shaping really nicely, and yeah, can't wait to implement everything. Yeah, this is the end of this session. I'll stop the recording.